Hello, and welcome to another episode of Casual Citizen, where we keep it casual in the verse. My name's Steven. I'll be keeping it casual with you today. So, it's that time. Reclaimer time. So, if some of you made the jump and purchased the Reclaimer, you're ready to go in 4.8. And for all of those of you who have not yet acquired your Reclaimers, I wanted to show you what you can look forward to with the new contract systems or the new contracts that are available, and potentially some valuable cargo that's been showing up in some of the contracts. So let's load on up and head on out. Alright, so we're situated here in our Aegis Reclaimer, one of my favorite ships in the entire game. I love it so much that I spend way too much money on it, and I highly recommend that you do the same. Alright, so what are we going to do in this video? I've already taken this salvage contract, so I spent the better part of a full day, we're going to say like at least 5 or 6 hours, just going around and running salvage contracts. I was scraping enough to cover the cost, but not too aggressively. And I'd say it probably took me 5 to 6 hours in the Reclaimer to get the senior contractor. And once you get the senior contractor, these missions are pretty lucrative. The ones that involve you getting components, I haven't tried those yet. But yeah, then there's like 400 eyes. There's 890 jumps, there's A2s, there's C2s, there's M2s. There's a whole bunch of big ships. So we're going to do this one, the 890 jump, and I want to see how long it takes. And then after that, after we sell up, then we're going to take a few other contracts and see what the cargo hold situation is looking like that. So definitely stick around till the end of the video. All right, so we'll see you out there. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, blast off. Oh yeah. Look at that baby move. Fantastic. Okay, so before we even get on our way here, this is one, I don't want to say downside, but one equalizer of these contracts. They're pretty much always on the opposite side of the solar system. So we're going to have to travel. And of course, this one is obstructed, so we're going to have to head over to Crusader first. So, all right, see you over there. All right, we have arrived. Sometimes it takes a second here for the marker to show up. There we go. And so yeah, on that note of long distance travel, the second upgrade I did to this ship was upgrading the quantum drive from the Comma to the Agni. And on this journey alone, I think that shaved off about 45 seconds-ish, bringing it down from a little under 5 minutes to about 4 minutes. So, while it's not a huge bump because the Comma is a good quantum drive, it is a bump nonetheless. All right, so the core part of this video, we're gonna find out how much money we can make scraping this bad boy right here. It's a big ship. All right, so let me get in position. I think we're in position. It's pretty good. Alright. So that's going to bring us to our first upgrade that I made to this ship immediately, which is the abrades. Because, duh. Oh no, my depot has 42. Alright, let me deal with this depot here. Alright, so we got 0.7 in the depot there. I'm going to start my stopwatch, and we're going to find out how long does it take to scrape an 890 jump. Stick around though, because I am going to show you if the valuable cargo trick is still working or if they patched it out, and we'll see how much we can make from one run with the reclaimer. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah, look at those abrades. I never fully scraped an 890 before. I always kind of get overwhelmed and give up as a solo player. And so I'm actually kind of happy to make this video because it incentivizes me to have some patience, to keep it casual, and scrape this whole ship. So we're going to find out just how many units. Can you imagine scraping this ship with a salvation? Or even a vulture, jeez. I will say that, you know, there's going to be a lot of anger on the internet about 4.8 being a glitchy disaster, and that's true. It is glitchy. But I will say that scraping, by and large, has escaped that. So to all my fellow scrapers out there, all my fellow salvagers, you know, just keep it casual out here, man. Not bothering anyone. Not hopefully being bothered by anyone. Avoiding the glitches. The only glitches I've encountered around this activity have been server instability. I got booted out one time. I think it was a 30,000 error. I got booted out, but I was able to come back in and pick up where I left off. The only other issue I've had, and I'm curious if you guys have had this, every time I swap out my quantum drive, because I've done it on like 3 ships now, it's been the one thing I've been consistently upgrading is quantum drives, it automatically removes the jump drive after you click apply to to changing the quantum drive. And not only does it remove the jump drive, it deletes it from your inventory. So it's like you never had it. So what I've had to do is every time I buy a new quantum drive, I also just buy a jump drive for that ship as well, in anticipation that it will go away. And yeah, it's been a consistent glitch. Luckily, jump drives are under 20k, but you know. All right, that's the first section here. Done. I can't really do more from this angle. So let me move the ship. We've got 9 units from that little area, and we're looking at 3 minutes. We're looking good here. I think we're looking good. All right, let's see. Again, I've never scraped an 890, so I actually don't have a strategy here. I think they were in. Were they in the previous patch as a contract? I actually don't know, to be fair. I will also say about these contracts, you know, these larger ships used to kind of be reserved for the illegal contracts, and now they're not. It's really nice that they've actually made specific contracts that are tailored to the reclaimer and just larger salvage operations in general. Alright, I'm going to scrape this ship, and so I'm going to fast forward through a good chunk of this because I don't know if that's going to be interesting for you guys at normal speed. So we'll see you when we're done with the first side here. Alright. Alright, so we are a little bit less than halfway through, and this is one challenge with running the reclaimer solo, is that, you know, you just get into a situation with a ship like this where the front of the ship is way out of reach, and then you gotta move the ship just for the one area. And if you had one other person with you, you know, one person can keep scraping a full area while the other person is getting ready to move the ship. So, but a small problem to have. Problem is a strong word. Small challenge, not a big deal. We roll with it. We scrape. Because, come on, it's the reclaimer. It's totally worth it. Alright, I'm going to head back, get back to scraping. I'll come back to you when we get done with this side. All right, we are halfway done, or it says we're 55% done, and I'm sitting at 21 minutes right now. So this is a big boy. All right, let's do the back here, and then we'll scrape the bottom. Alright, the back of the ship doesn't really seem to give you much. I think I got one unit the entire back there. We're sitting at 25 minutes, so. Looks good, right? Looks good, right, guys? Right? Alright. So yes, the back here works good. So it doesn't like the engines there. Those are not giving anything, so that's noted. Let's see if this part gives anything. It's saying 0.3. So yeah, the engines are not giving anything. But okay, the hull is though. So, all right. Alright, we've got 25% more. Let's just move the ship down. Hopefully just one last time here. Look at that bad boy right there. Okay. No, it's too long. We have to do it 2 more times. Oh no, did I mess it up? Oh no, I messed it up. I didn't go, I went down too much. And I'm never gonna go back and get that part because it's gonna take too much time and I'm too lazy. Alright, well, we got 23 more %. We're sitting at 34 minutes. So, alright, we'll see you when we're done with this section. All right, last section. We get 7 more %. Hopefully we didn't miss anything. Wow. There's a lot left. I'm gonna go up a little bit higher than I need to. All right. Alright, so this should be the last section. Currently we're sitting at 40 minutes. Alright, so let me just finish this off. Oh no, guys. I missed 3%. And so, yeah, this is a perfect example, though, of, you know, a challenge of soloing a ship like this. You miss something, you really can't find it without going through great expense. All right, so we're sitting at just under 42 minutes right now. And so because we got 3% left and I'm not going to find it, let's do this. Alright, so we ended up with 71 units. And then, oh no. Oh, I had to tap it, didn't I? Alright. 1,500 units. Alright, that explosion was okay. I want a little bit more, guys. Just a little bit more from the explosions. Well, it's really the big ships. The smaller ships explode good. Alright, well, that is that. 71.6 units. Took approximately 44 minutes to do that. I'm going to stop the timer here. And that is DUN done. Sun. Did that just disappear? Yes, it did. It did, in fact, disappear. That's good. Not really. And I messed up my ship there because I tap, root it. All right. Rep didn't move too much. All right. Let's just take a look here at some of these other contracts. All right. So there is another 890 jump. All right. Let me go for a short drive. I want to try and find 5 ships. None of these are good though. That might have decent cargo on them. So, let me go to another location. I'm going to cut this part I'm going to cut going. Oh. Looks like I should have scanned that 890. There's some cargo right there. My God. What if there was a whole bunch of cargo in there and I missed it? Alright, anyway. I'm going to cut to the 5 different locations with 5 different ships. So, we'll see you at the first location. Alright, so I just moved to a different location. And just so you can see at the 20K fee level, there's this Crusader Mercury Star Runner. There is a Hammerhead. And there's an A2. So I'm going to take the A2 and head on over there. So we'll see you. Actually, let's just see how far away is this. Yes, okay. Track. Where is it? How far away is it? Okay, right. So again, this is another 30 gigameters away from where I am. Anyway, we'll see you over there. Alright, so we've arrived. And let's just do a scan. So this is another issue. The scanning doesn't seem to be working unless you lock on. And then you can't lock on forever. Let's see if we can get in here. Alright, so we got 2 titanium, 2 nitrogen 13 iron, and then it goes away. Hold on, let me move this unknown out of the way. Yeah, see, it goes away unless you lock onto it. Alright. Carbon 1, copper 1, potassium 1, tin 1, and waste 1. So, we've got, 20 units in there. Titanium is worth, I think, 7,000 a unit, so that's 14 grand. And nitrogen, I think, is worth 4,000 or 5,000. So, there's a little bit in there. Alright, just to complete the contract, I'm going to fracture this, but I'm not going to make you guys sit through that. So we'll see you in a moment. So normally what I would do if I was playing, when I was trying to rep this up, I would scrape like one section. Like I would park my ship in a spot that could get as much coverage as possible and just scrape that and then fracture it. Because I wanted to make enough money to cover the cost, cover the fees, because it's 20,000 AUEC. That's a pretty good explosion. But I didn't want to be spending absorbent amount of time doing that, so. Alright, we'll see you at the next ship. Alright, took another 890 jump because I did not scan the first one. So let's scan this one. Alright, aluminum 1, carbon 1, copper 1, iron 1, nitrogen, potassium, tin, titanium, waste, and med gels. Alright, so there's nothing in it. There's one of each. Alright, let me fracture this. Okay. That's a bad explosion. Alright. Alright, so I wanted to share one quick tip with you guys before we move on here. Because as some of you may or may not know, docking has become broken in 4.8. Fantastic. And when you come to a station like this, if you want to refuel or rearm, all right, you need to dock, but we can't. So the next best thing is right here. Oh, jeez. The next best thing is right here, and I just want to show you that if you finesse it, you can get this bad boy right on there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that. Engines off. Look at this. Like a glove. Fantastic. F1. Landing. Bada bing. Bada boom. Let's see if this repair works. Wow. The repair works and everything. Alright. We're refueled and repaired. The only thing I'd say is that it's really hard to do that in first person. So you're going to want to be in third person for that. But there you go. Alright. I think I'm going to call it, though, on trying to find any valuable materials, because it seems like they patched that out, or at least they're not available at senior contractor level. We need to get access to some ships that would have some more cargo. So if when I rep up further I find that those contracts are there, I will show them to you. All right, so the best place to sell is Sears Canyon in Pyro, and you can make 8,200 according to AUEX. The second best place and the best place in the best place in Stanton, not the second best place, not the second best place, but the best place in Stanton is Terra Mills, and that'll get you 7,400. But the problem with the reclaimer is that it's real big. Oh yeah, no. And I was gonna say the next best spot is to go to Orison, but Orison's gonna force us to dock our ship. So give me 3 seconds here. Okay, yeah, wow. The next best spot is like New Babbage, and it drops down to like 6K. All right, so we might have to go unload and then bring it somewhere where we can make some money. So let me go do that. All right, so we're loaded up and we're gonna head over to our location. I'm gonna keep it a surprise. So we'll see you over there. Oh no. The jump didn't work. Let's see how many ships there are on here. One. There's a whole bunch of ships on here. Gosh darn it. Ruined my entire plan. Alright, I'm gonna try one more time. Okay, I tried twice. Didn't work. So we're gonna go to the second best spot. Alright, I decided to come over here to Selin and head to Terra Mills, so we'll see you when we get down there. Alright, well, let's see here. Alright. Let's see. Oh, perfect. Max. Yeah. Alright, let me sell this and I'll do the math. Alright, so we were able to sell those 70 units and I was able to make 915,000 Alpha UEC for about 45 minutes of scraping work. It was a little bit of a pain to have to move all the materials, but once docking is fixed, then we should be able to go to Orison and make similar money. And if you're not using a reclaimer, you can just fly here directly in your Vulture and unload. So that is one thing to note. I did want to go over to Sears Canyon and try and sell it there just to see what that experience was like, but I couldn't get to the quantum jump. Oh well. But I will say, by and large, it seems as though the salvage profession has been almost unscathed by the the glitchiness that is 4.8. So I do think that whether you're running a reclaimer or a Vulture, a Fortune, or even a a Salvation, salvage is still a fantastic time, and I highly recommend it if you want to keep it casual out there in the verse. Obviously, if you have access to a reclaimer, you already know it's fantastic. All right. So in any case, the last one bit though is that there was the cargo. I don't want to say glitch, but the valuable cargo showing up in large numbers going around. They seem to have patched that out in the hotfix, so that's gone. If it does show up at a higher rank, I will make another video about it though, so stay tuned for that just in case. All right, in any case, this has been Steve, keeping it casual in the verse. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and if you've enjoyed this video and others of mine, please consider subscribing. It would be much appreciated. We'll see you in the next one. Peace!